Mason Greenwood. Right now, he's in football limbo. Not the career kind, the national team kind. He played once for England when he was 18. One cap, that's it. And technically, under FIFA rules, he could switch to Jamaica tomorrow with no problem. His parents are Jamaican. The paperwork checks out. Jamaica would love to have him, but he hasn't decided yet, because there's still that small hope that maybe, just maybe, England calls him back one day. So he waits. Jamaica waits. And the clock keeps ticking. This might sound like a unique situation, but it's not. Not even close. There are literally dozens of players right now, some famous, some not, stuck in this exact dilemma. Do I wait for the country I dreamed of playing for? Or do I accept the invitation from the country that actually wants me and guarantee myself a spot at a World Cup? If you enjoy smart football curiosities like this, feel free to subscribe and leave a like. It helps more than you think. A lot of players today have multiple nationalities. Born in one country, parents from another, or grandparents, or they moved young and got naturalized. Football is global now, and so are footballers' identities. The problem? Not every player gets the call from the national team they grew up supporting. Maybe the competition is too strong. Maybe the coach doesn't rate them. Maybe they're just unlucky with timing. So they look at their options. And if another country, one they're eligible for, wants them, that becomes a real decision. You can't just switch countries whenever you want. There are conditions. You have to have played 3 or fewer matches for your first national team. Those matches have to have been before you turn 21. You need to have already had dual nationality at the time. 3 years must pass without a call-up, and you can't have played in a major tournament. World Cup, Euros, Copa America, or even World Cup qualifiers. If all those boxes are checked, you're free to switch. And this is becoming more and more common. At the 2018 World Cup, 82 players, about 9%, represented countries they weren't born in. By 2022, that number jumped to 137 players. That's 16%. By 2026, we might be looking at close to 20%. This isn't some rare loophole anymore. It's a legitimate strategy. Let's get into the 14 players who've either already made the switch or are seriously considering it. Aaron Wan-Bissaka switches to Congo. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Premier League regular, former Manchester United player, played for England at youth level for years. But the senior team? Blocked. Kyle Walker, Trent, Reece James, Trippier. England's right-back position is ridiculously stacked. So in 2025, Wan-Bissaka switched to DR Congo through his parents. He's now playing World Cup qualifiers. He gets his shot at the tournament. England wasn't calling anyway. Callum Hudson-Odoi switches to Ghana. Similar story. Hudson-Odoi played a few matches for England. Massive Chelsea academy talent. Fast, technical, exciting. Then injuries, form dipped. And England's attacking options exploded. Saka, Foden, Grealish, Palmer, Gordon. The competition is insane. Ghana's been courting him for years through his family heritage. He hasn't officially switched yet, but all signs point to it happening before 2026. He'd walk into Ghana's starting 11. For England, he's an afterthought. Edim Kade switches to Ghana. Edim Kade, another England youth product. Another player with Ghanaian roots. Another guy stuck in the maybe one-day zone. He's scored goals in the Premier League. But with Kane, Watkins, Tony ahead of him, his England chances are slim. Ghana wants him, and if he's smart, he'll seriously consider it. Luka Zidane switches to Algeria. Luka Zidane, goalkeeper, son of Zinedine Zidane. Imagine growing up watching your father lift the World Cup, watching him become a legend, and knowing, deep down, that you'll never do the same thing wearing the same shirt. Because France doesn't need you. They have Maignan, Areola, Meslier, a factory of world-class goalkeepers. So Luka looked at his options. Algeria, his father's heritage through his grandparents. A team they didn't just want him, they needed him. In 2025, he made the switch. Not the one he dreamed of as a kid, but the one that gives him a real shot at a World Cup. Sometimes, Legacy isn't about following in your father's footsteps. It's about carving your own path. Rani Khedira switches to Tunisia. This one took forever. Rani Khedira, brother of Sami, the 2014 World Cup winner with Germany. Solid defensive midfielder. Played in the Bundesliga for years. Germany never called him. Not once. He waited. And waited. Finally, at 32, in 2026, he accepted Tunisia's invitation through his family ties. He's getting his World Cup. Better late than never. Paul Warner switches to Austria. Paul Warner, Bayern Munich product. Insanely talented attacking midfielder. Born in Austria, German father, raised in Germany. He played 27 matches for Germany's youth teams. Everyone assumed he'd play for Germany. But Austria came knocking. They're building something competitive. And they guaranteed Werner a starting role. Germany? He'd have to fight through Musiala, Wirtz, Havertz, and others. So he switched. Austria gets a future star. Germany loses one. This is the one that'll upset people most. Germany didn't ignore him. They just didn't promise him enough. Smart or disloyal? What do you think? Carney Chukwuemeka. Considering Austria, it's even stranger. Carney Chukwuemeka. Born in Austria. Raised in England. English youth star at Chelsea. Austria wants him back. Badly. England's midfield is absurdly deep. Bellingham, Rice, Mainu, Gallner. Chukwuemeka might never get a real chance. Austria's pitching him on being a key player. He hasn't decided yet. But don't be surprised if he switches before 2026. Christian Nosquera. Born in Spain to Colombian parents. Youth talent. Spain hasn't called him up yet. And Spain's got plenty of defensive talent. If they keep ignoring him, Colombia's ready to pounce. Classic case of call me up or lose me. Spain needs to decide fast. Crescencio Somerville, considering Suriname, Dutch-born winger. Tearing it up in the Premier League with West Ham. After a great lead season, the Netherlands hasn't called him. And with their attacking depth, they might not. Suriname wants him desperately. They've been building a team of Dutch-Surinamese players, and Somerville would be their biggest signing yet. He's still deciding, but Suriname's making a strong case. Mauricio switches to Paraguay. Palmeiras attacking midfielder. Brazilian father, but he spent his entire childhood in Paraguay. Brazil's attacking options are endless. Rodrigo, Vinicius, Rafinha, Savinho, Endrick, the list goes on. For Mauricio, the path to a World Cup with Brazil is almost impossible. But with Paraguay, he'd be a star. Guaranteed starter. He's seriously considering the switch. And it makes perfect sense. Marcelo Flores switches to Canada. Marcelo Flores, born in Canada. Chose Mexico initially. Played for them at youth level. Then nothing. Mexico stopped calling him. For 3 years. Under FIFA rules, he can switch back to Canada. And Canada wants him. They're building something real ahead of co-hosting 2026. Flores is seriously considering going back. If he does, it's a huge win for Canada. And speaking of Mexico, let's talk about something they've been doing aggressively. Naturalizing foreign players. Alvaro Fidalgo, Spanish midfielder, naturalized Mexican. German Bergkamp, Argentine striker, naturalized Mexican. Julian Quinones, Colombian winger, naturalized Mexican. All three lived in Mexico long enough to gain eligibility. And Mexico's been using this strategy to fill gaps in their squad. It's controversial, sure. Mexico's not the only country doing this, by the way. Qatar did it. The UAE does it. Even some European countries dabble in it. It's part of modern international football now. So here's what we're looking at. 14 players. 14 different stories. But they all come down to the same thing. Opportunity. Some of these guys are chasing their dreams with a different flag. Some are being pragmatic. Some are making impossible choices between identity and ambition. And here's the thing. We're going to see more of this, not less. As football becomes more global, as dual nationalities become more common, as FIFA opens up more flexibility, this is the new normal. Which brings us back to Mason Greenwood. Still waiting. Still caught between two countries. And when he finally decides, he'll join this list. But let me ask you this. Does it cheapen international football? When a player switches countries last minute, does it feel less authentic to you? Or is it just modern reality? Players taking control of their careers. And what about the Warner case specifically? A guy who came up through Germany's entire youth system, then switches to Austria for guaranteed minutes. Is that smart career planning? Or does it cross a line? I genuinely want to know what you think. Drop a comment. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.